Good evening, everyone. What's up? I just ate a satisfying meal and topped it off with a measly dessert. This is Mr. Hata speaking. Previously, I did the 11th part to the top 45 worst SpongeBob episodes, second edition. Today is the 12th part of the top 45 worst SpongeBob episodes, second edition. We have left off at number 13. We got number 16, 15, and 14 out of the way. So we got 3 episodes done last time. Number 13 is okay. I've kind of been stalling this episode for a long time, but it's the Patty Caper from August 2008, season 6. The secret ingredient to the Krabby Patty secret formula has gone missing, and there's a hole in the briefcase from where it was in. SpongeBob and Patrick decide to solve the mystery on who could have stolen the secret ingredient to the Krabby Patty secret formula. The first suspect, of course, is Plankton, but the so-called Krabby Patty that he made was his very own version and did not have the very last secret ingredient. He was on all the letters to look for the last ingredient on the R's. Okay, time out. No, just no. Question: if Plankton had been that close to knowing the formula, then how on earth does he not know the secret formula already? It was even mentioned in any other episode. If that was really the case, Plankton would already know the secret formula. He wouldn't be attempting to steal the secret formula ever again from that point on. Why does he still not know this formula after all these episodes? The next suspect is Sandy, but it turns out she bought all those Krabby Patties for the winter and had a big bill. The third suspect was Gary, and SpongeBob assumes that Gary stole the formula using slime. The fourth suspect was Squidward, but the black box had tap shoes in it, not what they were looking for. They are ordered to get out, which makes perfect sense. Mr. Krabs blames SpongeBob for stealing the secret formula. The secret ingredient to the Krabby Patty secret formula. But it was really Mr. Krabs. The question is, how on earth did he steal the formula? Out of nowhere, the cops arrive. Plot hole. He's arrested and a retarded fat judge sentenced him to give free Krabby Patties all day long over a quote-unquote grand theft of $1.99. This is so biased. I hope someone beats up that fat, old biased crackpot fool judge. I hate judges. Yeah, no logic at all. I feel sorry for Mr. Krabs. Nothing made sense at all in this episode. What a waste of time. This shows how unlikable the other characters are. Even the police are bad. They're unlikable, extremely unlikable. What were they doing the whole time? Were they hiding the whole time? Not cool. You're even worse than Mr. Krabs yourselves. Number 12 is Earworm. From 2010, season 7, I believe. SpongeBob can't stop singing a catchy tune, which is artless. This episode was just so boring that I refuse to watch this episode ever again. All he does is sing some annoying tune for the entire episode. He can't perform his Krusty Krab duties right, making the customers leave with anger. Consequently, he is given a warning. One more outburst and he must go home for the rest of the day. He causes an outburst pretty easily and was all from an earworm. When Squidward plays his clarinet, the earworm leaves. However, later that night, it sneaks into Squidward and he screams. What an artless tune. This was one of the worst songs I ever have heard. This is why this episode is on the list. Nothing else to say except, why didn't someone just squish and kill the worm? That worm should have been killed. Hate that worm. Number 11 is, okay, I've been stalling this for as long as possible. This episode is Krusty Dogs from Fall 2010, Season 7. What an extremely boring episode, the easiest way to put this. As a matter of fact, it was the most boring episode ever in a series. I never want to watch this episode ever again. SpongeBob plays with Krabby Patty meat and creates a hot dog from it, or a wiener, calling it the Krusty Dog. The new product sells like hotcakes, even more than the Krabby Patty. SpongeBob causes a big scene for no reason over what? The removal of Krabby Patties? Who cares about a boring Krabby Patty? What a boring scene. Everything about this episode was so boring. The plot, the beginning, the middle, the end, the music, the characters' behavior, everything. Yeah, this episode was so boring from the very first second it was on. Even when the tune was playing for the title card. A hot dog, wheel, and thongs replaced the grill and spatula. SpongeBob really wants to get rid of the Krusty Dog so badly and get Squidward to join him. After a few attempts of doing dumb things like lying that it'll make one sick to get rid of them, SpongeBob blows it up. Consequently, Mr. Krabs has no choice but to bring back the Krabby Patties and get rid of the Krusty Dogs. Squidward is kicked by a woman, not funny, cruel, and mean-spirited. The end. Gosh, this episode was so boring. Why would SpongeBob care so much about a lame old Krabby Patty? The Krusty Dogs are never seen again. The end. That's that. Complete randomness. Time for the top 10 worst SpongeBob episodes. Second edition. This is going to be the home stretch. Finally, after 35 bad episodes and 11 parts of this countdown, we have made it to the top 10. I have saved these episodes for a very long time for this. Numbers 20 through 10 were bad enough to make it, but 10's 10, no questions asked. The top 10 is finally here, have no fear. Number 10 is Someone's in the Kitchen with Sandy. Plankton spies on Sandy but ends up being with her. When Sandy takes off her pelt, she washes herself. Plankton thinks she's repulsive and steals the pelt to disguise himself as her in order to steal the secret formula. When Sandy is done showering, she notices she's been locked in as outraged that her fur's gone missing and will look for the varmint who took it. Plankton goes to the Krusty Krab disguised as Sandy, able to fool Larry the Lobster, and wants to learn how to make the Krabby Patty once and for all. However, first things first, revealing the secret formula of the Krabby Patty is forbidden by Mr. Krabs' rules according to SpongeBob. However, he shows him how to make the Krabby Patty sandwich itself. Meanwhile, everyone in town, the townspeople, think that Sandy is some nudist and they all laugh at her. Back at the Krusty Krab, SpongeBob shows Sandy, Plankton, how to dry seaweed. The only time we ever see it. Sandy, Plankton, attempts to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula because Mr. Krabs is cleaning the safe and it's there for her to take. She's planning it while SpongeBob is talking. Everyone else thinks that Sandy is a hairless goat. Back at the Krusty Krab, Mr. Plankton is having trouble with the preparation of the Krabby Patty. A woman was so dim-witted that she called the real Sandy a nudist ferret and told her children not to look. Moreover, and to make matters worse, the townspeople were so ill-mannered enough to throw things at her, even though it was not her fault. That's what she said. That shows how rude the citizens of Bikini Bottom were. Back to the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob is being so annoying by saying, try again, try again, try again, try again. When Plankton is not perfect, you try it again, says Plankton. And then he makes his move. Plankton is so fed up from SpongeBob's annoyance to the point that he steals the Krabby Patty secret formula just like that. Just as Sandy, the real one, discovers that her body was all stolen by Plankton, which she should have known. As a punishment, Plankton is irritated by Mustard, and Sandy's arrested for public nudity. Mr. Krabs thanks the pelt. She is set to look fine in Prison Orange. The end. The citizens of Bikini Bottom were so dim-witted to think that Sandy was a nudist. Seriously, how on earth is she nude? She was wearing a bikini. How retarded are you? Why, you mean-spirited citizens, you brainless fools? Do you even have a clue what nudity is? Nope, didn't think so. Do you even have a brain over your shoulders? How on earth is she a goat, a chipmunk, or ferret? Fine example of how these people have no class and are a bunch of dunderheads. No likability whatsoever. Do you have any common sense? Why must you be so mean to everyone? You all have an IQ of 0, and that's that. That's what. That's all I have to say for the 12th part to the top 45 worst SpongeBob episodes, 2nd edition. The 13th part will be up pretty soon. Look at the time. That's all I have to say for this video. See you on the next video. Good night.